So many people are watching. This is great. So yeah, welcome. Welcome to getting the actor demo reel done. And for those of you who've known me or who've worked with me before, thanks for tuning in. And for those of you who don't, my name's Kat. Hi, nice to meet you. Yeah, so I'm a good old working actor, and I actually did not start out as an actor. Hi, Joe. I actually did not start out as an actor. I started out as a filmmaker. So I went to undergrad at NYU, and I got my undergraduate degree in filmmaking, and I started working as an editor. And then I switched to acting. And hi, Sharon. Hi, Dominique. And then when I switched to acting, because actors need a B job, I started editing reels, demo reels for my friends. Hi, Viet. I started editing demo reels for my friends as favors, and also, as a B job, as a side business. And then about a year ago, I expanded the business to reels right now because one, I love doing it. And two, I saw the kind of need in the business for the reel services I offer, especially having worked on the other side of the camera or table or whatever. So so what's different about me? So I found that a lot of why is everything backward? Oh, I don't know. Why is everything backward? Might be the camera. I don't know. Sorry, Brian. Hey, Carolyn. So I found that a lot of reel editors slap together footage without any regard for who the actor is or the quality of the reel itself. They just kind of like put clip next to clip next to clip. And I discovered in my own business of being an actor that I got more response, and so did my clients, when I tailored the reel down to who they were as an actor, like capturing their essence. And also, like, so many people just sort of deal with bad production. It's opposite JoJo, yeah, that's right. So many productions, so many actors just kind of deal with bad production values when it comes to footage, and there are ways to get around it, like the film is badly edited or they're on the way left side of the frame. There are ways to like deal with that, but people never did. They just kind of stuck the footage in there. So I was like, you don't have to live with that. Like, there's ways to edit around it. I'm an editor, I can do this. So so the reels I edited for my friends started getting more better response, and so did mine. So I'm like, hey, this is really great. So why do I call myself reels right now? Because, and I love you guys, but a lot of actors, hi Diane, a lot of actors like drag their heels on getting their reels done, which is kind of a shame because a reel is basic. You need one in order to be an actor. Excuse me. You need one to be an actor, even if your work is primarily in theater. It's basic. It's like a headshot, and so yeah, you kind of need to get it done. And also another is fear, and I totally understand. It's like when I have to, I know how to do it and I edit my own reel, but it's so hard for me because I have to go through all my own footage and pick out all my own bits and sort of edit it together. So I'm like, oh my God. So yeah, I totally understand why actors put that off, because it is not easy to look at yourself on camera. It's so not. But again, it's just like once it's done, I mean, the good news is once it's done, and you put it out there, and it's just done, and it's a living thing. Like, as your career grows, your reel grows, and it's kind of beautiful to watch, actually, because I've had clients who've been with me for a really long time, and from their very first reel to like what they do now is really amazing, and the reel kind of evolves as you evolve, so that's great. Let's see. Oh yeah, so let's see. So anyway, back to reels. So like I said, like a headshot, it's basic. If you're an actor, it just, you kind of have to do it. It needs to be done. And I've talked to a bunch of CDs, and I've also had some experience behind the camera when I produced short films and commercials and such. So have experience in casting. And so this is based on my experience behind the table, and also some casting directors that I've surveyed and gotten their opinions from. So, so the purpose of a reel, just kind of across the board, is to see if the office wants to bring you in to their office, or if they're casting right off of the tape. Hi, Eric. It's my brother-in-law. Or if they're casting right off the tape, they want to, you know, either way, it's to better know who you are, like your vibe and your energy and your range as an actor. Yeah, and if they don't know who you are, if they're like, oh, who's this person? It's just like to get a sense of who you are. It's like what you look like. And if you can act, great. I mean, unfortunately, when you're starting out, that's true. It's if they don't know who you are, it's based on, it's since on camera is a very visual medium. It's like, what do you look like? It's sort of like, what do you look like? And what do you look like? And if you can act. So that's great. Sorry, I thought that was... I thought I was on Do Not Disturb. I'm so sorry. So something that I loved when watching an actor's reel, and so what a lot of CDs love, that casting directors love, that kind of across the board, is to see clips that give us insight into your personality. So yeah, your personality just kind of comes across on stage, on screen, and that's what they want to see in the reel. And so something that drives us crazy, or drives people crazy when they see an actor's reel, is background work. Like, background work is work. I totally get it. So do a lot of people in the business. But, you know, if you're kind of like in the back corner, you know, shuffling papers and you're this tiny little dot, that's not usable footage, unfortunately. But there is a way to get usable footage, and you don't have to be on like a really noted TV show in order to get it. So just keep that in mind. So, and also, this is kind of, I mean, again, it's a taste thing. Like, some CDs don't like it, some CDs, casting directors do like it. Just seeing like a montage with music layered over it at the top. And I get that. It's like, you know, for a co-star role, which is like an under 5, they can see up to 100 reels to cast one role, and so they immediately just want to see who you are. And if you just show like a montage with music underneath it at the very top, they're like, oh my lord, I have to get through this in order to get to good stuff. So yeah, just kind of avoid that whenever possible. And other thoughts too, it's just reels these days, it's all about making them, hi Caroline Cho, I did her reel. She is a food TV host, and she's also my sister. So hi, Caroline. And that was really fun to do as well. I also do reels for TV personalities, so all across the board, not just actors. But so yes, reels should be as concise as possible. So I've had discussions with this with a bunch of clients. They want to show off their range. They want to show that they're comedic and dramatic, and I totally understand. But the thing is, again, because the business, I mean, there's so much content these days, and it all has to be cast. And so, they can see up to 100 reels or more to cast one role. So what you want to do is you want to make your reel as concise as possible. You want to show who you are, and you know, your personality, and and your range will come. You know, some people, as your reel evolves, what some people do is they have a full-length demo and they have a short speed reel. But for my people just starting out, I recommend that your reel be no longer than a minute, and maybe even 45 seconds. And I get a lot of pushback with that, but it is very true. Like, my reel, I have 2 reels right now. I have a demo reel and a speed reel, and most of the time they don't look at my demo, they just look at my speed reel because they don't have time, and the business was very, very fast. So yeah, concise, that's what you want. Okay, and with every clip, this is what I asked someone what they wanted to see in a reel, casting director, and he said, with every clip, you're telling us something about you as an actor, so don't add any work you've done that you are not proud of, which, yes, do not. I have a lot of clients come to me, oh, but I look really good in this, but my acting is terrible. If your acting is terrible, don't put it in the reel. Like, seriously, just don't. Because, yeah, you'll attract the kind of material, you'll attract the kind of projects that you put out into the world. And if you're putting out bad work, you're not going to attract good projects. So yeah, if you're not proud of the material, if you think it's absolute utter crap, just don't put it in your reel. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and okay, so questions. that I've been asked a lot is, what is acceptable material for a reel? So what I always say is pay attention to production value. So anything can work, like conciseness is key. But, good sound, make sure your face is well lit, that kind of thing. But that can work. But it can be student films, it can be a web series. And, there are some people these days who film scenes for you. There are places that do that. You don't have to, though. Like, I've seen people shoot things on their iPhones. Hey, Vander Duck Jr., who's amazing working actor, very talented man, and one of my clients, yay, and my friend. Where was I? Oh, yes. So some places do offer to film scenes for you, and that's a good idea. But if you want, absolutely. But you don't have to. Like, if you have friends who have cameras and who are resourceful, just get a bunch of, get some iPhones, make sure that you can hear the person, write a scene, and just film that. And that's enough. It really, really is. Like, all you need to get your foot in the door if you're just starting out is 45 seconds of you on tape. That's literally all you need. Like, if you're just starting out, all they want to see is, one, what you look like, and two, if you can act. So just remember that. But yeah, any material is acceptable. I know a lot of actors put off doing their reels because they're like, well, I haven't been on a TV show, or I haven't been on anything notable, and blah, 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 blah. And you really don't have to. Like, you really, really don't. I really want to put that out there. Like, my first reel, I filmed a bunch of stuff with some friends and cut something together. And that got me my first job, which was industrial, which turned me SAG, which was awesome. But and then from there, it just snowballs. It's like that casting director knew me, so they recommended me to someone else, and then I got more footage that way, and then my reel expanded, and then when my reel expanded, I got called in for another job, and my reel expanded. So it's all this. It just builds. Your reel builds and evolves. So yeah, like don't hold yourself back because, like, I haven't been on a major TV show yet, or I haven't been on a major film yet. Like, that stuff will come. Just get out there and film stuff. Okay, and all right, so you've shot something, or someone has hired you to be in something. So what do you do now? What do you do now? Oh, always the question. So you can ask the producer for the reel, for the footage. And here's the thing, because when I was first starting out, people still got stuff on DVDs. People don't really use DVDs anymore. So whenever possible, try to get your footage in digital format. And you don't need the raw files, really. Like, you just need the stuff that you were in. So no, I do not. I'm sorry. I'm a little not used to this yet. But you don't need, what was I saying? Oh, yes. So just get it in digital format. Like, QuickTimes are really, really great if they ask you what kind of format you want, or MP4s or MVPs are also good. The one thing I would tell you to avoid is WIN files, which are PC files, because they are a pain in the ass to convert. And every editor I know, and they're also really bad quality, and every editor I know hates getting them, myself included. People are like, I have a WIN file. I'm like, oh my God, shoot myself in the head. No, I don't really, but there's that. And also try to just get the original. Hi, Kelsey. Oh, girl, how are you? I did Kelsey Litsky's reel, who's also an amazing, talented actor. It's so nice to see all your faces in the little upper hand corner. But anyway, yes. So if the stuff, try to get the original files whenever possible, the original movie files. Now, this is the big complaint I hear, that the movie is up on YouTube, but it is not, but the producer isn't getting back to you and isn't giving you the footage. Okay, yes, I understand, that sucks. In that case, there are ways to pull it off of YouTube. There's, so you can do the research, and you should be able to find that software, which just sort of integrates itself into your web browser. There's one that I use called KeepVid, which is really great. And when you use that, just make sure that you download the highest resolution possible of the video, because it usually comes in like low, medium, high, or HD. So always get the HD if you can. And if you can't, just download it anyway and just tell your video editor, like, okay, this is the only thing I get, and they'll make it work. Or they'll try to make it work. So there's that. And if the episode is, hi Kelsey, thank you, you rock too. Oh my God, girl, you're killing it. If your episode is on iTunes, a TV show or a movie or whatever, what you can do is, again, do the research. There's a bunch of software programs that you can download that you can actually crack the code. Which is only supposed to be used for personal purposes, so please don't go pirating stuff. This is not an advocacy for piracy. It's just that you have the episode is aired and you want it in your reel right away, as you should. And you can email the producer and try to get it to you, but it usually takes a while. So Ben Ferber, hello. But it usually takes a while, so this is the quickest way to get it. Just go on iTunes, download it, crack the code, and hand that to your editor. Also, there's, if it's streaming, if it's on Hulu or Amazon Prime, or what's the new one these days? I don't know, Amazon Prime, Hulu. Oh God, Netflix, hello. I'm gonna be on a TV show on Netflix. You think I know that. Anyway, another way to get that footage is there is screen capture software. There is one called Moravi, but there's also others out there. And it's fairly simple to use, I think, but that's another way to get your footage. Again, not advocating piracy. This is just a way to pull your clip and get it to your editor so that you can update your reel as soon as possible, or get your reel done as soon as possible. And if you're not tech savvy, you guys, just seriously throw money at it. Like, you can hire me, you can hire someone else, just be like, I need to get my footage. I have no idea how to do it. Hi, Betsy. I need to get my footage. I have absolutely no idea how to do it. Can you please just, can you please pull it for me? It's so worth the money, seriously. In most places these days, or I do at least, I add on a tag at the beginning, at the end, or the end, because a big thing these days is also clips. If you were on, I had a friend who was just on an episode of The Path, and so, thanks, Caroline. Thank you. I had a friend who was just on The Path and also Dietland, and I just pulled the clip and I added on a very nice a tag at the beginning, at the end, and then you put it up on Actors Access or you put it up on your website, and when a CD is looking at your website or at your Actors Access profile, they can just be like, oh my God, they were on this show, they were on that show, and just look at that and decide to bring you in based on that. So yeah, clips are pretty awesome. So yeah, guys, if you're not tech savvy and it literally makes you want to pull out your hair, like my taxes, I could probably do them myself, but it literally makes me want to cut my throat. So I hired my own accountant and I keep him employed. So, yay, everyone works. So yeah, throw money at it. Oh, here's one thing. A tip that will save you so much time when it's time to go to your reel editor is just to be organized about it. So having done this for a while and having worked with a lot of actors and also in my own experience, I've discovered that the biggest hurdle to getting a reel done isn't producers being slow about actors getting the footage, although yes, that is a pain in the ass, but it's just actors just not having all their stuff together. So what I suggest is as soon as the episode airs or the film is out or the web series drops, you email, oh, great. Yes, okay, I'll take it. Oh, I'm so glad you have new footage. Yay. Sorry, someone just told me they have new footage. Okay, bye, Evander. Thank you. So yes, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so as soon as the episode drops or the film drops or, it airs or whatever, or the web series airs, just like try to get it from your producer or capture it or hire someone to do it or whatever, and then have a Dropbox ready or a Google Drive or whatever thing you use, and just like immediately download it and just put it in there. And even if you don't add it to your reel right away, just put it in there and have like a worksheet. I have a worksheet that I give all my clients where you fill in the time code where you are. It's like I appear in this to this, And this was the director, this was the show, this was everything, and then you just have it in this handy dandy worksheet. And if you guys want the worksheet, let me know. I'm happy to email it to you. It's info@reelsrightnow.com. So just see like, hi, I'd like the worksheet, and be like, okay, I'll send that over. There you go. But yeah, just being organized is like step number one to just like getting your reel out there when it's time to get it done. And yeah, and also just again, just keep track of your best work. You know, I know it's super hard to look at your footage like once it airs. Like I literally have to have a shot of vodka before I look at something that I've been in. Or actually what I usually do is people text me like, I just saw you on TV. I'm like, okay. And then I have a shot of vodka and then I watch it because I DVR it. But yeah, but just make sure you watch it and just be like, oh, you know, I'm really good in this part to this part. I'm going to write that down. And that helps you so much when it's time to go to your editor. And yes, vodka, I'm not a saint. That helps you so much when it's time to go to your editor. And then you can just be like, hi, I'm in this. I really like this minute 30 to minute 35. So can you please just pull that, and they'll do it. And it helps us so much. Hi, Karen Ludwig, who is awesome. Hi. So yeah, and okay, so another question I got asked a lot is how long should your reel be? So here's the deal. If it's stuff that nobody knows, and this is based on my experience and also talking to a bunch of casting directors, if it's based on Robitussin does not work. Oh my God, my brother-in-law, he's terrible. Just vodka. If it's material that nobody knows, like a student film or a web series that's not, quite not quite out there, then just, again, conciseness is key. This is just all about getting your foot in the door. It should never be longer than a minute. Like never, ever should be longer than a minute. 45 seconds is great. I mean, I've seen people get hired off of 30 seconds. It's really amazing these days, just because of the nature of the business. It's just gotten so fast, like insanely fast. So yeah, and I've, and again, having worked on the other side, I've seen reels like ejected. I just did it myself. I've seen reels ejected after 30 seconds because they've seen all they need to see. So yeah, conciseness is really key, you guys. So you don't need a 7-minute reel. You really don't. I swear to you, you really don't. If you have more recognizable stuff on your reel, like my clients and my actors, who have been in the business for a very long time and, have been in a lot of stuff and have had like lead roles or guest starring roles, conciseness still is key. Demo reels, like I really advocate them not being like full-length demos. Don't make them longer than 5 minutes. God, my sister's terrible. Anyway, Robitussin cocktail. Okay. But don't make them any longer than 5 minutes. And chances are, like, they won't look at it anyway until you get further on into the process. By all means, have it. Have a full-length demo. But just realize that your speed reel, especially since there are a lot of directors who are up and coming and people who don't necessarily know you work, they just want a taste of who you are. And again, because of the nature of the business, like, conciseness is key. So a minute, great, bring her in, love her, or him, or whatever. So yeah, so a reel. If you're just starting out, minute, and just every actor should have one that's at just a minute long. And then again, if you have more recognizable material, make a longer one, just so that you have it. And if you don't, you don't. That's fine. Okay, and okay, here's another thing. What conversation should I be having with my reel editor? So, reel editors I feel like have kind of evolved. And there are still reel editors, like you give them your footage and they just kind of cut it together, like boom, 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 boom. And it doesn't really show who you are as a person. It shows what you've done, but not necessarily like what you want to do. And I'm a big advocate of actors knowing where they want their career to go. So case in point, me, I get called in for a lot of comedy. So I made the conscious decision to start my reel out with Broad Cities because I'm funny in it. Yay, or people tell me I am anyway. And it just kind of pops and it gets me in the door. But I do get, and I had to be conscious of that. It's like, okay, I get called in for a lot of comedy, so I'm going to start out with my comedic stuff. I love the way I look in my Mysteries of Laura clip, and I should, because that suit was my day rate. So my suit was my day rate. But yeah, I look great in it, but I don't talk. And I just kind of sit there looking amused and very lawyery. So, and, you know, that, yeah, I just made the decision that, like, I get called in for comedic roles, and I would like to be called in for some dramatic. Actually, would like to be called in for dramatic, but this is what's going to get me in the door. And a reel is all about what's going to get you in the door. So, yeah, so have that conversation with your editor. Just be like, look, I get called in for a lot of comedy, and I'm the girl next door, or I'm the lawyer, I'm like a blue collar, or I'm a white collar professional. And then comes the next question, are you okay with that? And if you're not okay with that, guys, that's totally fine. Like, this is your career, you know? So just be like, okay, so I'm okay with being called in for white collar workers, but I would also like to be called in for this and that. And again, there's only so much an editor can do with the material that they've got, but a good editor will be able to tailor your reel to, you know, at least be considered for that kind of things, those kind of things. I had a client who, you know, got called in for a lot of like sassy, you know, black woman parts, and she wanted to be called in, you know, the wisecracker best friend, and she wanted to be called in for a lot of mom parts as well, and she booked a PSA which cast her in that role. So we sort of decided to place that in her reel, where it would be, you know, considered, where people, you know, where it was likely to be seen. So that's a conversation you should be having with your editor. What type are you, and how you want to be seen, and where you want your career to go. Okay, so another question I get asked a lot is like, and this was a thing a while back, I don't know if it's a thing quite as much anymore, is do I need a comedic reel and a dramatic reel? And that might have been a thing at one point, but these days the answer is no. At least that I've found. You should be able to just get in the door based on the minute reel, but no one really has time to go through two separate reels, like your comedic and your dramatic. Comedic, excuse me. All right, I'm gonna have a sip of cucumber water. Okay, but no one really has time to go through a comedic reel and a dramatic reel. So yeah, a reel like is just kind of everything you, just like a one reel, one concise, tight reel is just everything you need. Okay, so yeah, and just remember that your reel is a living thing. Like I said again, it's kind of going to evolve as you evolve, and so, you know, as your career grows and you book more parts, your reel is going to be added to. And I mean, I kind of compare it to headshots. You never live with one headshot for the rest of your career unless you've like struck a deal with the devil, or you have a picture of Dorian Gray thing going. You're just not gonna have one headshot for the rest of your life. So your reel, this is another thing I see, is like actors are so determined to get it perfect, and they're like, okay, so, you know, so they sort of drag their heels on cutting it together and editing, you know, getting it out there. And again, your reel is like a living thing. It's going to be added to, it's going to change. So just know that when you're putting it together. So that's also, well, that's more for my people who are just starting out. For my other people who are on their upteenth rodeo, just keep a pulse on where you want your career to go. You know, again, your reel is a living thing, and your wants and needs as an actor throughout your career are going to change. So is the makeup and the editing of the reel. And so again, if you get called in for a lot of comedy and you're like, you know what, I don't want to do comedy anymore, I want to kind of move away from that, talk to your editor about it, and just be like, you know, my reel is aimed toward my comedic material. I'd rather focus more on my dramatic material. I want to be considered for dramatic material. Your editor will be like, okay, let's see what we can do about that. So yeah, that's, let me see, what else? Any other questions people ask me? No, that's pretty much it. If you guys have questions, feel free to send them to me right now. You can do it now, or you can email me at info@reelsrightnow.com. I'm happy to answer them for you. And yeah, I mean, what else? Yeah, it's just, thanks so much. I mean, I just really wanted to do this. So many people come to me and just ask me so many questions about Reels, and I love doing this for actors. And and I'm huge. I'm a big believer in that we're the driver of the bus of our career. So and I totally understand why people pull it off, but you guys, you really don't have to. And like, once it's done, it's done. So yeah, if you're interested in ticking that item off your list, get my reel done, you can email me at info@reelsrightnow.com. Or yeah, and if you want the worksheet, just let me know. I'm happy to send that to you. And yeah, so that's great. I mean, trust when I say being organized is one of the biggest hurdles to getting your reel done. In addition, and it's not producers not giving you the footage. It's like, okay, now I have everything and I don't know what to do with it. So yeah, but anyway, thanks so much for tuning in, you guys.